Have you ever felt like your real life and your higher awareness are living in two different worlds? What if the truth is they were never meant to be separate? That's exactly what we're here today to explore. Welcome to the Brooke and Lydia Show, where real life meets higher awareness. Right? Hello, Lydia.
Hello, my dear Brooke. I am super excited that we are here living in this very moment.
Me too. And that intro just was pretty, the intro question was pretty, like I'm stuck on it already. Like I cannot wait to jump into it right now. When you hear that question, when you hear the comment, what if the truth was that your higher awareness and your real life were really meant to be separate? What comes to mind?
Totally. First of all, that feeling that my real life and my higher awareness are living in two separate worlds. Yes, that has been or had been the way that I used to live, like up until, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Like, because you can hear, I've been hearing from so many teachers like Bashar, Abraham Hicks, Louise Hay, Joe Dispenza, coherence, quantum mechanics, religious stuff, God, listen to yourself, and it's like higher awareness, and it's like, okay, that's something what my physical mind was experiencing was like, okay, that's a story that lives like, I don't know where, but it is not integrated in my real life. That's why I love so much this opening question. And that is the feeling that I have to be here. This is the excitement to really understand that, first of all, being aware of that. And second of all, is that the importance that answering this question, can we truly live our real lives with higher awareness? I know I'm answering with another question perhaps, but this just comes to my mind. Is it possible? And the answer is yes. So they were never meant to be separate? Yes. And in a sense, they are not. It is our physical minds that have the perception that they are working by itself, like my brain, my physical brain. That's my experience. That was my experience. That my brain was so trained, and my analytics, that you need to solve, you need to do, you need to fix, you need to figure it out. And that was my physical mind. And at the same time, I was like, in the realization that there's higher consciousness and that it is part of me, that I am part of it. And it's like, okay, there it is. So what? Make sense? So, yeah. What about you?
Well, I feel like it's always going to be the case that it's a little separate, because as soon as it becomes one, I'm aware, I'm in awareness again about something else that I'm changing or that's coming up. And so now I'm in this awareness where my earthly, my earthly reality is never as caught up as my awareness, because the moment my awareness is there, then once it's integrated, I have another awareness about something different that's not integrated, right? Like it's like I used to think that it was going to be that I have arrived. Right. And now I'm realizing, oh no, you just keep learning. And I know that a lot of people that would be listening to this and that we attract are people who are very aware of that. They're the ones who are doing the work, who are spiritually, emotionally, mentally really aware of things. They're already aware of what's happening inside themselves, what they're experiencing. They're people who they're seekers that are seekers of truth, seekers of who they are. We just naturally attract those kind of people. So I think, for me, the question is why, my question has always been, why are they separate? You know, that's the power. That's why everybody wants to know why don't I have my man? Why don't I have my money? Why don't I have the big car? Why don't I have whatever it is they don't have? Because they feel like they're doing the spiritual work to attract it and it's not here yet. And so all the awarenesses that come up during this journey are like, wow, I didn't even see that. And then no wonder that's not part of my existing reality. Because it wouldn't really be that much of an awareness if they were totally integrated.
That's very powerful. It wouldn't be that much of an awareness. And what comes to mind right now is when we are kids.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, I'm gonna pin a. I would let's. Ooh, I love that because when you were saying it back to me, I thought of because otherwise we would be in gratitude instead of awareness. But let's talk about what you just said. Kids, tell me more.
Yes, because look at the kids. I mean, from since they are born, we are born until we are 7, 8. It's like, yes, we're experiencing life and it's a physical experience. And sometimes it is very challenging. I mean, to think about the first time that we are not aware. But look at a kid, at a toddler, taking action to crawl and then to walk and falling and stepping up and crying and needing and crying and receiving and just being themselves. We are ourselves, right? There's no judgment inside of a kid.
No.
I think that's a key. That when we are kids, we are just being. That doesn't mean that we are not, again, facing challenges, having bad moments, just as good moments. But there's no expectation, calculation, analysis about how tomorrow is going to be. We don't even have the sense of time, linear time. We're just living. It is hard for kids. I mean, nowadays, one of my nephews is like, and it happened with my daughter, that how much time or to make them understand the sense of timing, it was a challenge as a parent. Think about that and look at your kids.
I was listening yesterday. Just last night, I was hearing a conversation about kids, and they were like, could you imagine being a kid when you come from this expansive universe? You have all the freedom in the world. You're all over the place. You see everything. You have all that you want, and then you're zapped into this little body of your choice, of course. You zapped into this body and you come out and you have no freedom. You can't even wipe yourself. And then as you grow, people are saying, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do this. And you're like, but I can, I came down here to experience things. And the limitation is so frustrating coming from a soul that just had all this expansive resource. And to learn how to live when you are restricted, but you do have free will, but blah, 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 just kind of go back and forth.
Totally.
Yeah. I also, in that same conversation, heard her say that the imagination, I was listening to something about parenting star seeds. That's what I was listening to. And like the imagination of a kid, because our imagination at any age is what creates our new reality quicker, faster, better than anything else. And because when the kids are doing it, they're playing in it. They're not doing it to get something. And so, one of the things in that was allow your kids to do as much imagination as possible. Like let them, if they're big imagination, just let them go with it and always let it be right, and if they're not, like, because I have one that doesn't really go there, like how to expand that imagination. And then I started taking this to us and where we are today. I used to love my imagination, and now I don't really give myself a lot of space for imagination. And this imagination creates the timelines that we're living in. And just in that awareness came of how much that when I think of where I want to go and when I'm, quote, imagining something, I have it attached to why I want to be there, or it's some sort of lack of what I don't have now. I'm not just imagining or projecting and where I want to go. I'm just not just playing. I'm not just playing in it. I'm imagining it. I'm really playing in the doubt and the lack of it, right? And therefore, my awareness of what I and my reality are not lined up. They're not in the same timeline.
So would you say that let's call it disalignment, just to label it so our brains can identify, is again because of inner judgments? Would you say that? Because those limiting beliefs, it's like, I'm going to put it, well, tell me.
That's a really good question. I sat here and thought about that. Like, wonder, and the thing that I came up with is because I'm not living in gratitude. See, this gratitude thing, I was wearing a shirt all day yesterday that says thankful, but it's coming to me at a deeper level now. Because what is the opposite of lack?
Well, abundance.
Abundance. And if it wasn't in lack, I would be thankful. But if I'm not thankful, I'm not even aware. I'm still stuck in the lack.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be stuck on what the difference is. Well, you can be lots of things at once, yes. But like, if you're really grounded in that appreciation and where you are, where I am, if I'm really sitting there and thinking of great gratitude for where I am, then I can be in gratitude of where I am and think of where I want to be in gratitude, instead of in because I don't like the house, because I think my son needs to be on a farm with animals, because all the reasons I want to be there. That's where my current reality wants to get stuck in, is why I want to be there.
The whys. And thank you for bringing to the table the gratitude part. Because first of all, and I'm totally convinced about that, I've heard that from Bashar, is like, there's no such thing as a lack. It's always abundance. Even abundance of lack is what you're experiencing, but it is abundance. Make sense? So
it's cutting.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I followed
okay.
it. Yeah.
The thing here, when we are conscious about being grateful, sometimes we are so convinced, we know that being grateful, it's something that is going to flourish, bloom beautiful things in our lives. But sometimes we are grateful just because I need to be grateful. That's not the right energy. That's when we are separated. That's the beauty of this knowledge. That's the beauty of that question. And your higher awareness are living in two different worlds, because I know that I need to be grateful.
Yes.
In order to. Yes.
And then when part of that side effect sometimes of being aware and learning all of this is, I'm going to go meditate so that I can, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say my thanks so that I can be grateful, so that I can. It's coming from a different energy altogether. And it's a natural difference. And if I let myself say we taint it, if we use the word taint and say we taint the gratitude with really the awareness that we don't have it, and that's why we're getting into the gratitude, or that you just know you need to, because someone told you, not because you truly are. Yeah, that's maybe, that gratitude, it's funny. I was getting ready to say this, like I just came to the awareness, yet now I'm thinking about it. I hear it all the time. The gratitude is what is really where those two timelines start to merge. Because if you're in normal, natural, authentic, thank you, gratitude, without thinking, then you become it.
Without expecting,
without thinking, just because. It's like being totally present in gratitude. Yeah.
Just as a kid, just being ourselves, right?
Yes.
Like, because, and I totally I follow this to the best of my ability, but Bashar's formula, like, it is mechanical, like follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability without being attached to any specific outcome, always remain in a positive state. So I see that kids, when we are kids, we are doing so. We take action. We just go. We take action. Yes, we're living in a physical space. Yes. And we are authentic as kids. We say we express gratitude, admiration, appreciation when we truly feel it. And we express as well the negative, like, that's so awful. And we cried when we truly feel it. There are no filters, right?
Right.
So, and again, we are in the here and now. And the intention, I know now more than ever, of this physical reality is for our soul to experience it, to learn that everything is valid, the good and the bad, the ugly, the beauty, everything, right? The only thing is for us to expand our consciousness. And one of the things for me that's been helping me to not perceive that my higher awareness, God guidance, and myself are living in a separate world, it's checking my own definitions, those filters. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because definitions and words really equal clarity, and clarity really equals reality.
And it's like having an inner communication with ourselves. What's your definition of appreciation, of gratitude?
Mm-hmm.
What's your definition of joy, of bliss, of fear, of emotions?
Yeah.
Because in those definitions, sometimes, like, again, the inner critic that it's doing its job, it's like launching like those judgments that it's what they call disconnect us, but we're never disconnected. We're always connected. It's just like we are distracted. Makes sense?
It sure does. What a fantastic conversation. And we're going to have so many of these.
Yes, we're gone.
We just kicked off our podcast. So, Lydia, you and I have known each other for what, 6 or 7 years now? 6 years, I think, now. And we spend a lot of time, most of those 6 years, like every day talking, at least in a chat somewhere, checking in. What are you going through? Like, just as like, oh my gosh, I saw this, I learned this, I'm going through this, this is this, and helping and helping each other and appreciating each other and loving each other in all these different ways. And now we're going to really kick this podcast off together. My question to you is, what do you hope for this podcast? What is your intention? And what is your intention for the podcast?
I appreciate this question so much because, yes, my intention for this podcast is to share with the world, to the world, how we are experiencing real life, tapping into higher consciousness, higher awareness, that it's already within us. The intention is to share that it is not that we are living in a fantasy world. No, this is real life in which we are facing what we call contrast circumstances and how to handle them through different lenses, through the eyes of the new paradigm, what we've been titling the new paradigm. And the new paradigm, again, is to blend the higher awareness with our conscious awareness, with our thoughts, with our emotions, and experience life from an empowered place. And I want to share that to the world because I feel it is the key. If you want a new world, this is a way. What about you?
Thank you. My intention is to share my personal experiences on how I do exactly what you just said. Like when I'm not and when I am and how to, and just really give that personal experience. And that's the intention of why I'm showing up to do it. And if I may say my wish for the world and what I want, I guess what I hope for out of it is that the listeners can find something to hang on to that helps them have a friend, feel like they're in the same room with us, maybe learn something about the way I do it that they could apply the way they do it. Because I think we all do this in different ways. We have the same general laws, but it looks different for us all. I know I learn really well watching someone else go through it and hearing how they went through it. But most importantly, my wish is for the listeners to just feel somewhat better when they get off this call.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love this. Yes, to share this beautiful vibration of yours. I love it. That's very powerful.
Do you have a wish for humanity?
I do. I do. Thank you for asking. That humans remember how powerful we are. And the power that I'm talking about is the power to be your true self. The true self that I am talking about is that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you are who you were created from this beautiful space of unconditional love, to really integrate that.
Beautiful.
What about you?
Yeah, that my wish for the world is to realize that we can live in passion. And someone that I highly respect sent me something from someone who's very, very famous that said, it's not about passion. And I understand that one day I might see that way. But right now, I believe that we can live in our passion. Does that mean that that's all we do? No, it just means that we are free. And my wish for the world is for people to see how free we really are.
I love that. Yes. The free will is literally freedom. We get to choose. You
Yeah.
get to choose.
Yes.
I love that.
All
Do you want
right,
to wrap
well,
things up?
yeah, until next time. We are going to be here until next time. May you be really aware of allow your higher awareness to guide you and to show you what to move through next. And we'll see you next episode.
See you next episode.